Now, good afternoon, I'm Dan Godwin. We are following breaking news in Saginaw this noon hour. An Arlington police officer was shot trying to serve an arrest warrant for the murder of 6-year-old Alana Gallagher. The suspect was also shot in the head. Fox Sports' Laurie Barriger, live in Saginaw with the latest. Laurie?
Well, and Dan, there's still a heavy police presence here, still investigation going on. If we can take a look just down the street, you can see where all of this transpired around 9 o'clock this morning. There was a team of officers that came here in that investigation into Alana Gallagher's murder, and shots rang out right around 9 o'clock this morning. There was that group of officers, part of the task force, that came to Tyler Holder's home to search and arrest warrants, and immediately after officers got there to serve those warrants, the shots rang out. We had a photographer in the neighborhood at the time. He said he heard 3 shots, and then he saw officers getting on their phone, presumably to call 911. Now, an Arlington officer, as you said, who was working on that task force, who was investigating the 6-year-old's murder, was shot in the upper leg. The suspect, 17-year-old Tyler Holder, was shot in the head. And neighbors, some of them who were awakened by the incident this morning, heard what happened.
17 gunshots, and I wake up and my brother's freaking me out, and he's like, hey, something just happened at, right down the street from that girl's house. We need to figure out what's going on.
I'm glad it's over. I'm glad they caught somebody. I have a 17-year-old daughter, so I'm glad hopefully it's the right person and it's all over right now.
You can hear that relief from neighbors. Obviously, this was a violent incident, but of course, they have been under a lot of pressure in the last 3 weeks, not knowing what was going on here in the neighborhood. We understand that the officer from Arlington left the neighborhood, shot in the upper leg, in critical condition. However, I have spoken with Assistant Chief James Hawthorne within the last 15 minutes. He told me that the Arlington officer is expected to be okay. As far as Tyler Holder, the 17-year-old suspect in this case, we observed him being loaded into the ambulance, but we have not gotten an update at this point on his condition. And so officers still here in the neighborhood doing their investigation, not sure what's going to come of any search warrant or any arrest warrant. Of course, that depends upon the suspect's condition, but this investigation obviously still ongoing here, Dan.
And Laurie, we did have reports this morning, and I know information can be difficult to get where you are. We had reports this morning that Tyler Holder was linked to the disappearance of the girl and the murder by DNA evidence. Have you heard anything along those lines?
Well, what we understand, Dan, from several sources, not just mine, but other people on our staff, is that some of the forensics came back and they were able to rule out the family as suspects, but they were also able to rule in Tyler Holder as the prime suspect in this abduction. And
matching DNA.
And as far as injuries to anyone else in the neighborhood, what can you tell us about
Y'all get out of the room. Go.
What the PI, the Public Information Officer for Saginaw Police, Damon Ing, told us a little while ago is that there was not anyone else at home in the Holder's house when this arrest and search warrant was served. And so, as far as we know, no one else was injured.
All right. Laurie Barriger reporting live for us this afternoon in Saginaw. Thanks very much.